Every 3rd of May, journalists in Uganda join the rest of the world in celebrating the World Press Freedom Day with an aim of creating awareness of the importance of the freedom of press and remind governments of their duties to respect and uphold the right to freedom of expression enshrined under Article 19 of the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. However, the day comes at a time when journalists in Uganda continue to face brutality by the security as witnessed in the concluded Kawempe North by-elections and several other cases. As Ugandan journalists celebrate this year's World Press Freedom Day, the question is hard on whether the press is free indeed. To put this in context, we interacted with many journalists who expressed worry about the infringement of their rights in the country. The different ways of violations mentioned include physical assault, intimidation, arrests, restriction on access to sources of information, and among others.
First of all, what I can tell you, being a journalist is the hardest thing that I know anyone has ever seen, anyone has ever experienced, especially when you're a woman. It is really hard. Getting information is really hard. Sometimes the sources are really hard for us. They make, hard it for us to do our job. You can reach a source and then they refuse to give you information.
Someone tells you, your opposition, I see you write very many stories about so and so, or your NRM, you don't. But I think we are balanced and people shouldn't really scare us. And when you're a journalist and you know your cause and purpose, because we are not in journalism for money. Of course, I know people say there is no money in journalism. If that, then does it matter to celebrate the World Press Freedom Day? And how can the day help raise awareness about the importance of press freedom? Ronnie Bulegeya, the president of Born Again Journalists Association, believes that this is the only way to inform various stakeholders on the number of challenges facing the media.
This day is very important for all journalists in Uganda and those that are not in Uganda, because it creates more awareness to all the stakeholders that work with the media. That includes government, the non-government organizations, and all individuals that benefit out of the work of the media.
When a journalist is free and is comfortable in a position where they are, the person who is supposed to be receiving the information is going to receive it at wholly and as it is. And this journalist is not going to be when he's not intimidated. He will make sure that every office, every sector is checked.
Bulegeya gave an insight into the various ways through which the government, institutions and individuals can work together to promote and protect press freedom, calling for independent media space.
To me, I think the media is, first of all, is willing to work with every institution. That includes government and all the other organizations and individuals at any level. So if government wants to work with the media, what they need to do is to give them space, give the media space to operate freely and independently, to let their licenses be renewed at the time that they are needed.
Apart from the brutality from security, the working conditions for journalists in the country is very alarming, as many go months without pay, while others are paid little compared to their output, despite their levels of education and expertise. This in turn forces many journalists to compromise their principles, as explained.
Journalism is one of those careers with the biggest number of graduates every year. However, the field is not really welcoming. You go to a media house and someone is not facilitated well. So it affects our career to the extent that we no longer give in our 100% because of the no pay or low pay. and even lack of equipment. You go to a media house, they need you to go with the equipment. You have to go with a camera.
Sarah Nabakoza, the print media representative at Uganda Parliamentary Press Association UPA, shared the perception of female journalists and some of the challenges they face on the account of their gender. Sarah also provided a word of wisdom to her fellow journalists.
Very many times they look at women as if we cannot do the things. Even when it's a story, you come up with a story, yes, it's a good story, but when a gentleman brings it up, they think men actually deliver than we do. But I think we are trying to change that narrative.
John Baptista Humza, Church of Uganda, Family TV News at 8.